Hi guys, it's Caroline, and today I'm going to be doing my July TBR. Now, a lot of times these past few months I've been doing a month-long readathon, and I really do enjoy those. However, I found the last 2 months I just haven't necessarily followed that TBR at all, and I've kind of picked up what I wanted to read, but also have been reading a lot of library books. I wanted to take a look at my goals that I had set out for the year and kind of look at them. Half the year has gone by now, which seems really crazy, but if I'm not achieving my goals, I don't want to leave it all to December and feel really hectic, let's put in some work now. So I was kind of looking over those, and I have just built a TBR that hopes to accomplish some of the things that I set out for myself, and we'll go through those in a second. The first goal is I wanted to read 12 Owl Crate books. I subscribe to Owl Crate. I really like them. You get one per month, which means every year I should read at least 12 if I want to keep up. And a lot of the times they are books I'm interested in. It's just because there's no this is my book club book, this is whatever, I don't pick them up as frequently as I do other books. I want to make a conceited effort to read at least one, if not more, and that one is going to be Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. I won't talk too much about this because you've all heard it here before. I put this on TBRs all the time, partially because I'm so excited to read it, and partially because this is the Owl Crate title that I think is the most exciting, and I want to read more Owl Crate because I really do like them. So I really want to get to Legendborn. I'm gonna stop, talking out my butt and actually get to it. Next up is I wanted to read 5 series from start to finish. I'm also working on completing series, but I said no, I want to start series, but I want to marathon them, and that's where this came from. And so for that, I want to do the City of Stairs trilogy by Robert Jackson Bennett. There's only 3, and they're not particularly large, and I've heard really great things about them. I just think I can get through them fairly quickly, but also I've heard they're sort of a mixture of spy and military and political fantasy, which I think all of that sounds like it'll go by quite quickly. I think this is totally doable. It's also great for another reason, and you will see why in a second. Next up is I want to read 5 books that are on this poster that I got for Christmas last year, and that is the poster. I forget exactly where it's from, but it is a poster of 100 books you should read in your life, and you scratch them off and you can put a little sticker and do your rating. When I got the thing, I'd read probably about 55 on the list, and I just wanted to slowly work my way through them. But it's a lot of classics or modern classics, and so I've only read 1, and it was The Kite Runner, and so I want to read 4 more to scratch off on that poster. So for that, we're going with Dune. Just the singular, but I'm too lazy to pull it out of this great box set because there kind of is a hassle to put it back in. But yeah, it's also gonna be a movie this year, and I want to have read it before the movie comes out, but I don't want to read it right before the movie because it's too fresh and it feels too repetitive, and I'm gonna get bored during what's going to surely be a very long movie. So I just want to read this sooner rather than later, and we'll see. Maybe this sparks me to read the rest. Maybe I want to slowly read the rest, and therefore I want to start now so I can slowly work my way through it. Okay, another goal of mine that I have not yet accomplished is that I want to be net even for 8 months or more, which net even basically just means the amount of books I accumulate is less than the amount of books that I read. And that just means if I get a book from the library, it's completely net even. So I accumulate, but then I read. So when I buy books or my Owl Crate or whatever, I need to be reading enough books off of here to cancel that out. I've done terribly with this. I think I've only done this for 3 months so far, although I think June will be number 4. So I'm really not on track, or I'm right on track. And I'm always really bad in September and December because of my birthday and then Christmas. So really want to get on that. And so for that, there's no book, it's just read. And I don't, this month, for example, I read 2 physical books from the library, and I just want to focus on reading these during the time I have to read physical books rather than stuff I'm getting from the library that just nets even. So that's just a general goal. Then I had a list of 10 books or series that I wanted to read in 2021, and there's 17 books in all because of some of the series. I've only read 2, meaning I've read 2 of the books. Neither of them were part of a series. So I've read 2 of 17, not going so well. However, the City of Stairs trilogy is on that list. So if I can read these, I can not only finish this complete series, but also check that off. Dune is also on there as well because I picked it being mindful of the fact that the movie was coming out this year and that my dad had gotten me the box set for Christmas. So either one of those will fulfill this, and if I can fulfill both, I'm just as happy. And then the last thing that I am still working towards is that I made a list at the beginning of 2020 that were 10 classics that I wanted to read in the decade 2020. And I was really great last year. I actually read 3 of those classics, so I'm ahead of the game, but I can only imagine as I get further into my 20s, start a real career, all of that good stuff, the time that I will have to dedicate to like classics rather than the hot new releases, especially with hopefully a career in publishing where you have to stay on top of everything all the time. I think now's the time to get ahead. And so for that one, I'm going to do Atonement. And one of the reasons I'm picking this one is 1, it's on the shorter side, but 2, it's one that I own because not every single one on the list I actually own. And I really want to focus on not getting more books. I've actually completed one of my challenges, which is to read 5 translated works of fiction. I think I have read like 6 or 7 now. I'm not failing every which way, just in a lot of them. That's it for me. Bye.